Hello everyone, tonight I'm going to show you how to draw up Northland Shopping Centre from the early 2000s iteration of Northland Shopping Centre using historical imagery from Google Earth. So to do this we need 3ds Max, which I have open on the screen now, as well as Google Earth in which we're going to extract a historic image from. So to begin, we'll open Google Earth. So to do this, we'll open Google Earth. As you can see, I'll get it up on the screen now. Google Earth Pro. If you haven't downloaded it, I will include it in the actual on the screen for you. So once it's opened, I'll drag it across. And as you can see, would it zoom down to Northland Shopping Centre, which is located in Preston, northern suburb of Melbourne, of course. So as you can see, this is the centre as it is now, which was I believe, 2019, 2020, or thereabouts. So first of all, we need to make sure our view is set straight. We've panned our view straight up. I'll pan our view straight down. So using the eye tool here. So make sure it's completely bird's eye by just panning the down tool, just using the down tool. And then to set it to true north, we just click on the N until it's automatically set. So as you can see. And then from there, what we need to do is we need to first get our historical imagery up. So to do this, the good thing about Google Earth Pro is that it has the ability to display different imagery, different satellite imageries from different eras. So to do that, we click on the time icon here. And as you can see, we've got a 2022 one, and we want the good old Northland from year 2000. So I'd scroll back to the earliest date possible, which is November 2000. So as you can see, from a historical point, the center is actually quite small than what it currently is. So with the bulk of it being the majority of it being, the majority areas that have been extended into in recent times were car parks. Were pretty much car parks, as you can see on the screen here. So once that is done, we've got to make sure you keep that open. Keep the historical imagery tab open. Make sure you're still at true north. And then we've got to save the image. So to do that, we click on File, and then Save, and then Save Image. And then what we'll need to do is we'll need to sort of actually, we can close that. We can close our sidebar. And then we'll do, close the sidebar, and then we go up into, make sure you're still at true north, and then we go into save image, and make sure we're at full HD, and then make sure our resolution is set to full HD. And then we can turn off map descriptions, legends, scales, compass. Yeah. And that is pretty much ready to be saved. So what we do is we click on Save Image, and then we can make it a demo. We'll just do 11/2000 demo, as you've already got one saved. And then we're pretty much ready to go. So once that's done, we can close Google Earth, open up 3ds Max, And the first thing we want to do within 3ds Max is to create a plane in order to drag the image onto. So using our plane tool, we go into standard primitives and shapes. So create, and it's geometry, and it's standard primitives, and then we select the plane tool. Make sure our steps are off first, and then we set it to, so we set our width to 1920 and our length to 1080, so in correspondence with the resolution. And once that's done, we can just simply drag our file in. Just hang on a second while I get the file. Building mesh. So we just get Northland demo file. Yep. And that is pretty much ready to go. So once that's in, you can see we've got pretty much our terrain that we're going to, our satellite imagery we're going to build off. So, well, first things first, we rename it aerial image, and then we lock it. Actually, we don't lock it. So aerial image, and the first thing we want to do is we want to set up our first layer. Which we're going to name, so we want, so what we're going to do is we're going to divide the center up into each square up into, each part of the center up into into parts relating to, in relation to the name of the stores, the parts of the mall, different parts of the mall, and the dates that they were built. So, for example, we'll do Maya Food Court. So Maya Food Court and Cinemas, which is pretty much the front part of the center here. Yeah. So once that's done, we can start with our first. So what we'll do is we'll get that up. And we can use our line tool, which is located under splines. We'll do the My Store first, so which is for stories. Close the spline. We rename that to Maya 1966, which was the year the center opened. And we change that to, I'd say, let's say, make it Maya Black. Or the Maya color, which is black. Or there, or charcoal. And then we can set the height up to, and then, actually we'll do the food court first, and cinemas. Yeah, so food court and cinemas, which was 1987 initially, and then extended in 1998. Rename. '87, 1999, 1997. So with that being done, we can just go ahead and extrude our lines. So what we'll do is we can just do, pretty much, we're just going to go into modify. So to modify our lines, to modify in order to extrude, we just go into the modify panel and then we select extrude. And then we've currently got our mall set to So the center is, so 3 stories, so roughly speaking, it's 2 levels, 3 meters high, 3 to 4 meters high. So we'll make that around 9 meters. And in the Maya store, we do the same. So for the rest of the center, it is pretty much the same in the end. So what I will do is I will stop the recording in a couple of minutes and then come back once the recording has, once I've done the rest of the center. So extrude. Doesn't want to appear for some reason. Yep. Make that 12 meters. So 12 meters. So 4 floors at 3 meters high, 4 meters high, 3 to 4 meters high. So yep. So what I'll do is I'll pause the recording and then I'll come and I'll resume it once I've completed the center in order to do the barrel vaults. See you in a bit. Another thing to mention is the color coding. So in order to color code the center in chronological order, so for instance, we'll be working with the 1987 part of the center, which includes the front multi-deck car park and the cinemas, which we want to do in red. We click on both, we select, so using control, click on both until both are highlighted, and then clicking on this little colored square here, we open up our object color palette, and then we can select a color such as red, and then that is pretty much how you color code the center. So for the 1987 part of the center, that will be in red. Okay, so back again. Next part, once our center is all pretty much made up, we're ready to put our domed roofs on. So in order to do our domed roofs, we need to use the cylinder tool, which is located under primitives, under standard primitives, under create, geometry, standard primitives, and then cylinder. And then the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that our snaps are applied, our snap tool or our mesh is, the snap tool is on and our mesh is applied to the top of each part of the center. So to do that, we click on create and we select helpers and then grid. And then once the grid is selected, we click on the top of the center just to confirm, and then we make sure our snap tool is on. So once that's done, we can start creating our cylinders. So what we'll do is we'll just adjust the height. We'll make sure our cylinder is there. Actually, don't worry about it. What we'll do is we'll just rotate it. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just rotate it in, make sure it's at 90 degrees. And then we rotate it around like so. And then in order to create, at the moment the cylinder is pretty much a full circle, so we just want to make it a semicircle. So in order to do that, we just click slice on, and then we can slice from up to and from. So if we do the slice from, we're basically regenerating our circle from the right to the left, so it's sweeping right to left. And if it's the other way around, and then from to, we're pretty much doing it from down the bottom. But we're going to pretty much say we want to do 180, so full 180. So we can just click it in, and then we can extend it out. And what we'll do is we'll just go into the top view, rotate, and we just drag it down. As you can see. So then we can change our color to blue. Or actually make it a light blue. Or pale blue, whatever. whatever pixel's fancy. So once that's done, it's just a matter of just duplicating those in and resizing them. So what we'll do now is we're using the Alt. Or Shift, sorry. We can create a copy. I'll make it. I'll actually make it a copy. So this is the cross part that goes between Moya and Toys R Us. And then we can do our other domes. So for the Westmore, doesn't have to be exact. I'm just doing the demo, so I can just. This is pretty much just a rough demonstration of what I was doing. Yeah, so, yeah, once that's in, so we're pretty much just plonk the domes in, and that is pretty much how you do Northland Shopping Centre. So it's just a rough guide of how I went about it. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.